Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to draft your basic sleeve. So these are the materials you need to draft your own basic sleeve. So let's get right into the video. As you can see, I have folded my pattern paper into two. Next, I'm going to be marking down my sleeve length from the edge of my paper. I'll be drafting a long sleeve and the sleeve length is 26 inches. In my measurement video, I showed you how you can take accurate measurements for your sleeve. So if you're yet to watch the video, please do so. Next, I'm going to be marking down my bicep measurement from the edge of the paper. To get your bicep measurement, you can divide your bust circumference by 12 and then add an inch to that. So for me, I have a total of 4.1. So I'm going to mark that right there. After doing that, I'm going to connect the lines together. Next, on that line, I'm going to be imputing half of my armhole measurement on that line. My armhole measurement is 16, divided by 2, that's 8. I have marked it right there. Next, I'm going to make a connection from that point to the edge of my paper like this. Next, I'm going to be measuring what I have on that line that I just created right now. As you can see, I have 9 inches. I'm going to find the midpoint of that line. That will be 4.5 inches. From the edge of my paper, I'm also going to measure down to that point and then also find the midpoint. That will be 2.25 inches. I'm also going to measure from that 4.5 inch mark down to my armhole point and also find the midpoint. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to work with. So at point 2, we are going to go down by half an inch to create the armhole curve for the front. Next, we are also going to go upwards at point 3 by half an inch. This is to create the armhole curve for the back. So after doing that, I'm going to use the curve part of my ruler to make a connection from point 1 to point 2 to point 3 over point 4 down to point 5 like this. So after connecting from point 1 to 2, I'm connecting from point 2 to 3. Then I'm going to flip my curve ruler to the other side and connect from point 3 over point 4 to point 5, which is at the edge of the paper. So I'm just going to mark that point as F. To create the back armhole curve, I'm just going to make a straight connection from point 3 to point 4 and also make a connection from point 1 to point 3 in a straight line. So this area now becomes the back armhole curve. Next, we are going to add one inside seam allowance to the armhole point. And I'm going to go to the sleeve length. I'm going to impute my wrist circumference divided by 2. My wrist circumference divided by 2 is 4.5. And then I'm going to add one inside seam allowance to that. Next, I'm going to also add an inch hemming allowance to the edge of my sleeve. If 1 inch is not enough for you, you can go ahead to add 1.5 or even 2 inches. But 1 inch is okay for me. After doing that, I'm going to connect the side seam allowance at my armhole area down to the side seam allowance at my wrist. After making the connection, I'm just going to use my paper scissors to cut out the sleeve from the rest of the pattern paper. Your sleeve length doesn't have to be long like mine. It can be a short sleeve or a 3/4 sleeve, okay? So next, we are going to cut out the back armhole curve first before cutting that of the front. So I'm just going to flip my pattern paper this way and cut out the back armhole curve. If you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, please give this video a giant thumbs up. After cutting that of the back, I'm just going to open my pattern paper like this, and now I'm free to cut out the front armhole curve. Also guys, if you do have any questions, don't forget to leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to respond to your questions. So now I'm just going to open the pattern like this, and I'm going to reinforce the F sign there, and I'm also going to extend my bicep line to the other part of the paper, and I'm going to label this area as B for the back. Next, I'll be extending my sleeve length to the other part of the pattern paper. So guys, this brings us to the end of this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in my next video.